Uganda.
Welcome to Uganda.
Cool, jelly, iron, international.
Hello there. Uganda is a classic adventure tourism destination, and the Bujagali Falls, which is about an hour's drive east of Kampala, is one of the world's most thrilling commercial water rafting routes, which passes through three of the most heart-stopping rapids imaginable. I'm Yvonne Bassi. Welcome to a Ugandan experience.
We're very excited to renew our focus in promoting Ethiopia as a tourist destination, and we have established an in-house tour operation called Ethiopian Holidays, which is currently offering customized tour packages to Ethiopia and the rest of Africa. I invite you all to take advantage of the new services of Ethiopian Holidays and enjoy a unique experience in Ethiopia and the rest of the continent.
Come to a place where you can experience divine cuisine, the ultimate pamper, and relax in the absolute lap of luxury. Come to a place where you can experience the best of life, where you can work, rest and play. Come to Echo Hotel and Suites.
The government of Seychelles remains committed to say that if we want the world to be what we expect it to be, where we can all live in peace and harmony, beyond political affiliations, beyond ethnic divisions, beyond color of skin, we need to find a way to bring the world together. And what a better place to do this than the middle of an ocean.
The Fang Fang Hotel, situated in the Nakasero district of Uganda, is just one of the pickup points within the town, where the tour bus belonging to the water rafting and bungee jump company called Adrift is scheduled to pick up intending passengers for the Nile adventure today. At exactly 7:30 a.m, the bus arrives, right on time. Not too many people on board today, but that's probably because of the earlier bus that went ahead of us. A brief stopover along the way for a quick takeaway breakfast. And 15 minutes later, we are headed towards Jinja Town. The journey there takes us 80 kilometers eastwards from Kampala. Jinja is the second largest town in Uganda after Kampala, and with not much traffic on the highway today, the two towns turn out to be just 1 hour apart. Originally, Jinja was an industrial town due to its proximity to the Owen Falls Dam, which provides the town with electricity and water from Lake Victoria and the River Nile. But in recent years, the town has become transformed into a leading tourism resort. Naturally, the major attraction has always been, and still is, the source of the River Nile, that begins its flow to the Mediterranean Sea from Lake Victoria. Just a few kilometers downstream from the source, the longest river in the world takes its first big step down on its way to the Mediterranean Sea. The Bujagali Falls, a large cataract rather than a full-blown waterfall, splits the river 7 ways over a rocky ledge 4 meters high. Often referred to by visitors as one of the most incredible places in Africa, the green-clad islands that adorn the river provide a spectacular backdrop to the thunderous sound of 1.8 million liters of water per second, which is the average flow rate of the river as it tumbles down into the calm pools below. We arrive at the bungee site situated at a place called the Nile High, which, as the name implies, is one of the highest points along the banks of the Nile. Wooden steps lead the adventurers up to the highest ledge, where final safety procedures are carried out before the bungee jump begins. It is imperative for each person to be properly weighed beforehand, as it is the weight that will determine the strength of rope to be used. Once seated, the jumpers' legs are carefully bound together. Bungee jumping originated with the people of Vanuatu from the Pacific, who have been throwing themselves from huge towers for centuries, with nothing more than a few pieces of vine attached to their feet. It is probably the fastest growing adventure sport in the world.
So, Mr. Sensimelian,
How do you feel?
Oh, I'm petrified. I'm going to pass out probably with fear when I'm doing it, but we'll give it a go. You only live once.
Good luck.
3, 2, 1, bungee! Woo-hoo!
Attached to a specially constructed latex rubber cord, the jumper dives from a platform which is equivalent to an 11-story building above the river. As she swings precorously at the end of the rope, one cannot help but wonder just how strong the rope really is.
It's made of pure latex rubber, which is the same thing that, it's called hat elastic, and it's the same thing you find in your underwear or in bras. It's the highest quality that you can find anywhere in the world, and it comes from Malaysia. So we import it by the kilo and we make the cords ourselves. So we know what the breaking strain of each of the rubber strands is, and we over-engineer it by about 4 times to make sure that there's no way it'll ever come close to being stressed fully.
Gradually, she is lowered into the waiting hands of the boatmen, who draw her down to safety. The next jumper takes the option of actually touching the Nile on the way down, and to make this possible, the rope is lengthened slightly. This 44-meter-high tower, from where these daredevil jumps take place, has raised obvious questions as to the safety implications of this sport and just how much danger is really involved. But the director that runs the show waves all such fears aside and said that the most dangerous part of the bungee jump is the drive from Kampala to Gingertown.
The bungee jump itself is actually very safe. We run it to a very high standard, which are the Australasian standards. So in New Zealand and Australia, where the sport started, the government's legislated for bungee jumping. So we've exceeded the requirements of Australia and New Zealand, and we run our bungee jump to that level. So we retire the cords automatically after 500 jumps. We check them for breakage every time before we use them. We retire them automatically if 10% of the strands are broken. So we've got really, really stringent standards. So it actually makes it very safe.
The boatman waits patiently for his next adventurer. This boatman says he enjoys his job immensely and that the best part of it is seeing the different reactions of the jumpers immediately after the unbelievable adrenaline rush.
Oh my life! That is so strange when you're falling. Really? I can't, my fingers are tingling. Oh yeah.
So, Mr. Sensimelian, the tones on your side.
Close by, a tropical bird swoops downwards, as though scandalized by all this strange activity in her territory. Far below, the never-changing Nile continues along its endless journey towards the north, forcing its way impatiently between the rocks. The last pair of jumpers take a little bit more time than the rest to jump. The lady is terrified. And for intending jumpers who, like her, find it difficult to take that plunge, the director has a few tips up his sleeve.
The tips are keep your eyes up, don't look down, and jump as soon as you can. If you linger on the edge, the longer you stay there, the harder it gets.
Next is the whitewater rafting adventure, and everyone converges on a pile of rafting gear. It is mandatory for all intending rafters to be properly kitted out, and although the gear might not be entirely convenient to wear, it certainly does instill more confidence in the wearer. The Bujagali Falls provides a spectacular backdrop for some of the most exciting adventure activities in the world. Whitewater rafting was first operated commercially in Uganda from this starting point, and today there are different categories of rafting to choose from. There is the option of being rowed down the river in one of the safety boats. That's the option we choose. It's a raft that runs a lot more conservatively than the rest, so you are unlikely to fall overboard. And it gives you time to build up confidence too before joining one of the paddle boats for the more adventurous rapids.
When it comes to whitewater rafting, it's actually the perfect river for rafting, the Nile. Because it's warm, we don't have any problems with exposure or hypothermia. The river carries a huge volume of water, which means foot entrapments, which are the usual danger when whitewater rafting, are nearly non-existent. So we've now taken 30,000 people rafting on the Nile, and we haven't had any major accidents. A few injuries here, we lose people temporarily, but if in terms of rafting you can't find a better river. So we think it's probably the best whitewater rafting river anywhere in the world.
But no matter how safe the river is, nor how high the safety standards, the element of risk involved in this water sport has kept many people at a safe distance, as they say that the risk involved is really not worth the fun.
there's many things in life that are dangerous, but considering the risks and precautions that have been taken by the rafting companies, there's more rafting companies here, and they all take precautions. There's first of all, your safety jackets, then there's the guys who come with you, the rescue team, and the kayaks. So they help you out whenever you get stuck in the washing machine or other rapids.
Washing machine?
Oh, washing machine, yeah, that's when you, well, you most probably you will flip over with the raft, so then you end up out of the boat. Then you're in the rapids. You might get stuck because the water is coming from above, and once you're under, your jacket will make sure that you come up again. But when the water goes back on you again, you might get stuck. So then you need one of these rescue team guys who will pull you out of this washing machine, because you will go on and on and on like being in a washing machine. But
gosh.
But it's awesome. Many people think that they are on the point of drowning, but they're not. It's just because 1 second looks much more longer when you're down than when you're just breathing.
That was an awesome experience, I can tell you. You've just got to experience it to believe. I'm Yvonne Bassi. Thanks for staying with us.